Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Talking Movies with D, and that's me. Also, happy 2016. I saw this movie before the new year, but I didn't get because of the holidays. I wasn't able to get a review started. So this is technically my first video for the New Year's. Hope you guys having a good New Year. So let's get to it. What movie am I reviewing that I actually saw? I believe Christmas Day. Is Concussion. Concussion is based on a true story by Will Smith, or played by Will Smith playing Dr. Bennett Omalu, who discovers that blunt trauma to the head, which is causing brain trauma, is killing NFL players, and it follows him fighting with the NFL to prove that his what he found is correct, and it basically goes through all that. I want to say before I actually give my opinion is halfway through the movie I came down with the flu, so it I think some of my part of some of my negatives could be a little obscured because I felt so sick and I kind of wanted to get out of there. I could be wrong, so that's why I'm still going to say them. But I just wanted to let that be known before I actually gave my positive and negatives. So for my first negative, and this probably is the biggest one, is I wish that we got more details in some of what happened with the NFL and Dr. Amalo being investigated and all those things. Like, granted, I don't believe they tippy-toed around it, around the situation at all. But I wish we'd have got a little bit more detail in exactly what happened, and I guess that's really about it. Wish we got in a complete detail of what completely happened. Granted, they didn't. I mean, the stuff they told us was all. I'll get to that part later, honestly. All right, so a couple more negatives is that it could have been a little too long, and again, that's why I say it might have been because I had the flu that even though I still was enjoying the movie, I was very uncomfortable and unsettled. And then there are some parts of the movie that I didn't care for as much, where I could have did without. It wasn't very many, but that's probably again when I wasn't feeling well. Because before I started feeling sick, I was enjoying the movie completely, and I was completely engaged, and I still was engaged when I got sick. It just my focus was shifted a little bit, but that's really all I have for negatives. Before I get to my positive, I do got to say it's crazy that the NFL not necessarily backed this movie, but they I said before that they didn't get into the details as much I would have wanted them to, but they still basically the NFL looks bad in this movie, and they showed it. And the NFL could have, as powerful as they are, they could have put this movie to bed. It could have got shelved and whatnot, and they actually, I commend them because they do look like terrible people because of what they did. And I mean, it's truthful what they did. It's something that basically went under everybody's radar back when this did happen, 10 years ago or whatnot, and now it's helping a lot of people. It's the lights being shined on it is causing them to have to take responsibility. So I do commend them for that. But now to my positives. The first one is probably the most important, or one that's going to be talked about a lot in my videos recently because it's Oscar season, is that this movie had great acting. Will Smith, Alec Baldwin, and Albert Brooks all are great. And Will Smith, Dr. Amalo is from Africa and he has an accent. And normally I don't, I try not to look into accents as much because you never. I mean, I'm not an expert on them, so I don't know how good somebody is at them. But I like I like that he went forward with that accent because that quickly stopped me from thinking Will Smith, and I completely was that this is Dr. Omalu going through his journey, and like I said before, even though I wish they would have went into more details about what the certain things that happened. I like the positive is that they did not pull punches with whatever they were talking about, whatever they were showing. It was showing that if a NFL dropped the ball, they were hiding this. They were, they knew about this, and they're not doing anything about it. That they showed that, and that I mean, if they didn't, it would have been a waste. It would have been a completely wasted opportunity, and the movie would have been been stale because of it, and I'm happy that they didn't do that. I do wish they would have, of course, went into more details, but what they did give us wasn't like, hey, NFL said you could only say these certain things and you can't make anybody look bad. They didn't do that, and I definitely love that part of it, and that it shined a light on such a crazy subject of sport that I watch. I used to play, and if I have sons and they want to play, I wouldn't stop them. I mean, it's good that everybody has that knowledge now. I have nephews that play football, cousins, so it's like I'm happy that they went through with that. Besides the focus on on the NFL, the movie starts off and you really get a sense of who Dr. Amalu is. And this is crazy because this is a movie about the NFL and what happened with the whole brain trauma and what's going on with the league, and making things more safe and letting people know what's going on. But Dr. Omalu, and this is probably the best point of the movie, he made me feel like I wasn't, and this is not a negative, this is actually a positive. He made me feel like I wasn't as good as a human being as I could be. And I don't want to say exactly what he does, but this guy is such a respectful human being. He's like the kind of human being that everybody should be. Granted, a lot of us aren't, a lot of us can't be, but that's one of the main things I saw when I watched this movie. It's like, man, this guy is kind of he worked on dead bodies. He studied the human body. It's like, man, if anybody in my family ever passed away, or they need to do an autopsy and find out what's going on, this guy's respect level is so great for another human being. I would want it to be him. But this is somebody who, if you met, you have to look up to. And I think that was something great to point out as well, that he's not American. He's somebody from another country who came here, and he just wants to be the best human being he can be. And I think that's probably one of the best things you can get out of this movie. And so I had to talk about it. And I think another thing that they did very well is letting you understand what these athletes go through. And even though I'm an athlete myself, I never really thought about, and this, I mean, at the end of these athletes' career, people that played back in the 70s, 80s, and all on to now, what they go through. In a sense, they're treated like our veterans, not putting them in the same boat as our veterans, because our veterans do so much. They do so much for us in a different way. They're fighting for our freedom and protecting us. It's not saying that that's what the NFL players are doing, but I mean, they're doing something for our entertainment, but it messes with them psychologically. It messes with their body in the same way that going overseas and dealing with that kind of trauma. It's not the exact same situation, but what it does to them mentally is the same. And how we treat them is the same for the most part. It's because when they go crazy and they're doing those things, everybody pushes them away. Like these people that we considered our heroes, for both veterans and NFL players, we push them away. We say, hey, they're crazy. Hey, they're going through this. And we can't understand why they're not the person we remember them to be, because now their personality is completely different. And those people go on to hurt themselves, to just kind of be loners on the street, losing their money and stuff like that. So it really shined a light on that. And that's good, because now if these players are going through this, now their family can understand. Now these doctors in the NFL can understand. That way, these people aren't just shunned. If they're going to put their bodies on the line for us, at least everybody needs to understand what that entails and what that does to them. I didn't realize I wore my Saints shirt and I didn't realize that I was doing this movie, doing this review, because I'm doing much today. I didn't even think about that. But it's perfect that I wear this, because people like Drew Brees and all these especially running backs and linemen who get hit a lot, it's going to affect them in the long run in some way. And it's good that we can get ahead of this and try to stop that from happening, for one, and for two, make sure their family and stuff doesn't alienate them, so they're taken care of and they don't do something crazy like take their life, which a lot of these NFL players have done in history. So, with all that being said, I didn't mean to go on a tangent there, but it's a very important movie, I think, to see for anybody, and I definitely recommend it just off the acting alone. But the story is great; it's a true story, And for the information, I think anybody who watches football, who is a fan of football, who has family members, kids, or anything that play, I think it will definitely give you a better understanding of the game and what people go through and the risk. Because part of our freedom is that I think no matter what the risk is, on whatever we do, it's best that we know, and then we make the decision ourselves. Because as you can see, all this came out, and people heard about it, and I mean about that boxing, and UFC, all these people that really are damaging their bodies and stuff like that, putting their body on the line. It's not gonna. It might stop some people from enjoying entertainment or actually doing it, but now it's their choice. You know that they know what they're getting themselves into, and that's what I think is important. So I definitely recommend seeing this movie. I actually can't wait to see it again when it comes out on Blu-ray. So let's go to my score. I give this movie an 8.5, which I think is a very, 8.5 is great. I didn't love the movie completely. Maybe I would have loved it more if I wasn't sick, but I think it was a great movie. And again, I recommend it to anybody who likes Will Smith, who loves performance movies that could be nominated for an Oscar. If he gets nominated for Oscar, I'll be happy for him. But with all these other performances that I've been seeing, he might not get it. But if he does get nominated, I know he's not winning. But if he does get nominated, I'll be happy for him, because this is the kind of, this is kind of stuff Will Smith needs to do, not him playing the back seat to his kids. Granted, I love the son and Karate Kid and Pursuit of Happiness, but After Earth and whatever. This is him coming back to form. He has this, then he has Suicide Squad coming next, which I hope he'll be great in, because this guy can act. He's a superstar for a reason, a movie star for a reason, you know. So 8.5 is my score. That's all I have. Yeah, that's all I got. So see you guys next time. All right, deuces. Hey everybody, and I just want to know, what did you think about the video you just watched? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you dislike it? Please let me know by clicking that thumbs up button if you liked it. Also, please make sure to go to YouTube /TalkingmovieswithD or at dwood2324 or Derek Woodrin, and subscribe to the channel so you can be updated on my movies. This year, my goal is to really try to review a movie every week, or as many movies as I can and see. That way you guys know what to go see out there, so you don't waste your money on seeing a crappy movie, and then you can see a real good movie instead. Also, you can follow me on all social media at dwood2324. I really want to know what you guys think. I have a lot of videos that I'm posting right now, and you can see them all on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page, Derek Woodrin. And check out those videos and let me know what you think. Did you agree with what I said with those reviews? Did I make you want to watch these movies? Did I keep you from watching something that might not have been good? Or did I excite you for the movies that are coming out, like I did my top 10 most anticipated, or I did my top 10 best movies of 2015? Did I make you want to watch those movies? Did I make you, not want to watch them? Did I bring some movies to light that you might not have seen if you didn't see this video? Please let me know. Please comment, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll get at you guys next time. All right, deuces.